In Caravan, we meet 45-year-old Esther, who no longer wants to be just a mother to a son with an intellectual disability. She steals an old caravan and they embark on a journey through Italy where Esther dares to want more from life. Caravan is directed by Zuzana Kirchnerová-Špidlová, and this film is her directorial debut. Okay, I'll just start off with the positives because for me there wasn't really that many positives with this film. The performances are all very solid. The two main performances from Anna Jestlerova as Esther and David Vodzhushuval as her son, the intellectually disabled son, they're both very, very strong. And Esther and her son David go on a road trip through Italy, and on the way they meet a young Czech girl played by Juliana Olhova, and she's quite good in the film as well. But for me, this film is very, very familiar. The story is very, very familiar. In recent years, the last decade or so, we've had a lot of films from Europe that are the story about a single mother who has an intellectually disabled son or daughter, and she's kind of like tired of this life. Like the intellectually disabled son or daughter is all grown up and she's like in her 40s or 50s, and she's like wanting something from her life. She wants to be free. She wants like her son or daughter to like fend for themselves, or she wants a break from that type of life, and she wants to date and meet a new man. And this film is very much in that vein. It's very, very familiar. It's a very familiar story for me. And this film pretty much ticks all of the cliche boxes of a single mother with an intellectually disabled child. Like towards the end of the film, and she like leaves David alone by himself, and he runs away, and then she can't find him, and she starts panicking, and she gets the help of other people to try and help him find him because he can't really survive on his own. And then eventually they find him and he's okay, and then the story like a heartwarming ending. And then we've seen that like type of situation in a few films in this type of film recently, and yeah, it was a little bit of a cliche. And again, another box that was ticked was Esther. She hits in the mid-40s, and she kind of has like a sexual awakening throughout the film, and she wants to kind of like sleep around and meet different men, and that's another scenario we've seen in other films. And when a scene starts, it gets quite predictable as to where the scene is going to go. I'll just give one example. About halfway through the film, Esther sees a young man, I think that he's attracted to, and on this road trip, Esther, she doesn't need the money, but she kind of pretends that she needs a job. So she asks him, "Oh, can I go with you to your farm and work on your farm for some extra cash?" But I think she's actually attracted to him, and she gets close to him, and they form some kind of relationship. And when we first see him in the film, you know straight away, okay, she's going to have some kind of relationship with him. And it's just like predictability like that kind of like kept me at bay from this film. And there's a scene about halfway through the film where Esther, David, and the young Czech girl are on the beach, and they're relaxing on the beach, and Esther's just lying on her stomach, and they're drawing like sunscreen on her back, and the young Czech girl writes mega boredom on her back. And because they're bored, like they're just doing the same thing every day, just traveling around, like going to beaches and relaxing, not doing anything exciting. And you would think, okay, if the characters in this film are bored, don't you think the viewer watching the film will be bored? So, and I understand like the single mother Esther, she doesn't really have a lot of money, so, but I understand why she didn't take David to some like exciting locations. She just like went around Italy, like relaxing on beaches and private properties, and not really doing anything exciting. And it wasn't really exciting for David, and it's not really exciting for the viewer as well. I give Caravan 2 stars out of 5. The performances in this film are all very solid, but that's pretty much the only positive thing I can say about the film. It's quite predictable, scene by scene, and it doesn't go like, even though we get like a nice road trip through Italy. It doesn't go anywhere exciting, and the film just ticks all of the boxes about a single mother with an intellectually disabled child. Yeah, I've seen this story many times before. Maybe if you haven't seen a story like this before, maybe you'll get more out of this film than I did. But for me, it was quite very familiar and quite predictable. So I can't really recommend this film, Caravan. Thanks for watching. What did you think of Caravan? Please comment below what you thought of the film. See you next time. Bye.